Well, good evening and welcome to the broadcast 12th day of September 2023. I'm glad that you've chosen us to inform you tonight. Quite a chilly capital city of Nairobi. I'm armed with a cup of coffee. I hope that you're keeping safe and warm from wherever you're tuning in from. You are watching EBN Prime Edition on your fastest growing TV station, EBN TV. We've got quite a lot in store for you tonight, but here are the day's top stories. Moment of relief for ODM rebels MPs as a political parties dispute tribunal bars their expulsion. Kenyans still feeling the pinch of the high cost of living 1 year later. New InfoTrack poll reveals. Maisha card to be launched soon as government plans registration of digital identification cards. Well, our broadcast is live on Facebook and on YouTube on EBN TV. Our SMS line is 23993. You're in safe hands. My name is Cynthia Nanjala. Let's get started. The high cost of living has led to 53% of Kenyans feeling that the country is headed in the wrong direction as President William Ruto marks 1 year of office on Wednesday. A survey by InfoTrack shows that the president has a 55% performance rating, whereas the best performing cabinet secretary is Professor Kithure Kindiki at 59%. Kenyans also urged the government to address unemployment, corruption, agriculture, quality and cost of education and poverty.
We ask Kenyans, could you kindly mention the 3 key issues that concern you as a Kenyan that you'd like government to address as a matter of priority? What 3 things do you want your government to address today? Number 1 will not surprise you. Number 1, mentioned by 65% of Kenyans, is high cost of living. So Kenyans are basically saying the country is headed in the wrong direction. 89% say it's headed in the wrong direction because of high cost of living, and we want that high cost of living addressed as a matter of urgency. The second thing will also not shock you, that 37% of Kenyans want unemployment addressed. So that is the second thing that they want President Ruto and his government to address. And the third thing, which is close, so I'll mention them together, number 3, is the quality and cost of education. For many of us who perhaps have either directly or indirectly people that we are supporting in the education sector, we know that public schools today are asking for money. Your kids will not go to high school or primary school in government or county schools without paying. In fact, many of them have been given ultimatums that you cannot join the new term before you actually pay. These schools are actually meant to be free.
Well, some good news for a section of MPs from ODM party, where the political parties dispute tribunal has issued interim orders restraining the ODM party from expelling Kisumu Senator Tom Ojenda, GEM MP Elisha Odhiambo and his counterpart of Lang'ata Felix Oduor, also known as Jalango, pending hearing and determination of their petition. The registrar of political parties has also been ordered not to delist the trio as members of ODM. The party's dispute tribunal has further ordered the ODM party not to de-whip them from various house committees. ODM party expelled the 5 members of parliament who rebelled from the party and instead supported President William Ruto's Kenya Kwanza coalition. In a National Executive Council meeting chaired by party leader Raila Odinga, the party said it had begun the process of removing them from the party register, thus rendering them partyless. Kajiado South MP Memusi Kanchori dared the party to make good its threat. Still in the capital, doctors in Nairobi on Tuesday staged a protest in the streets, lamenting over what they termed as the deplorable state of healthcare in public hospitals. The doctors under the Kenya Medical Practitioners, Pharmacists and Dentists Union, KMPDU, embarked on a peaceful procession from the Kenyatta National Hospital to the Ministry of Health and the Council of Governors' offices, where they delivered a petition detailing their cries. The medics claimed that over 4,000 of their counterparts remained unemployed, adding that most public health facilities across the country lack essential drugs and medical supplies. The Doctors' Union boss hit out at the Ministry of Health for failing to guide counties in implementing the Human Resources Procedures Manual unveiled by the Public Service Commission in 2016. Furthermore, that the career progression stipulations have also been abandoned.
What you need to do is to allow us to go through these petitions. Thank you. And you know that the stakeholders of healthcare is not just the Ministry of Health. We have many other stakeholders that I have to avail this document to. Then we come to a table, sit and discuss and provide a solution.
The collective bargaining agreement that is now a court order of 2017-2021 to be implemented. Number 3, we want a new CBA to be negotiated and completed. And the last one, we want the county governments in the different parts of the country to stop harassing doctors.
Interior Cabinet Secretary Professor Kithure Kindiki has strongly criticized parties that engage in divisive politics that threaten peace in the country. While speaking in Kajiado, where he presided over the installation of the first Deputy County Commissioner, as well as commissioning of the sub-county headquarters of Elangata, Kindiki assured the residents that the government has set aside development funds to improve the services and infrastructure in the area.
Niaba ya serikali mimi nataka niseme ya kwamba tutafanya kazi na viongozi wenu wote ili tuhakikishe ya kwamba mambo ya maendeleo hapa Kajiado County na Kajiado West inasonga mbele kulingana na sera za serikali ya Kenya Kwanza ambayo ni serikali iko mamlakani wakati huu. Maana tumewakalia ngumu wale walikuwa wanataka kuvuruga Kenya kwa kuleta uchochezi na vita na maafa na uharibifu wa mali. Na mimi nataka niwahakikishie nikiwa hapa Elangata West, hakutatokea Kenya tena siasa potovu, siasa ya uchochezi na vita. Hiyo hatutakubali. Hakuna mtu hata mmoja ataruhusiwa kuvuruga amani ya nchi. Nimesema sisi hatufanyi maneno ya siasa. Mimi nikiwa waziri wa usalama, kazi yangu ni kulinda usalama wa taifa, na mtu yoyote atakayehatarisha usalama wa Kenya, awe chama gani ama kabila gani ama dini gani ama awe na cheo gani, mimi nitamshughulikia, nitamweka ndani, wacha kiumane.
The nominee to the chair of the Central Bank of Kenya board, Andrew Mukite Musangi, says he is up to the task to steer the country's banking industry. While appearing before the National Assembly Committee on Finance and Planning, Musangi, a lawyer by profession, told the committee that he will strive to make the country's bank regulator open to scrutiny to enhance integrity and accountability at the institution. Musangi is being vetted for approval by Parliament before appointment by President William Ruto.
In tying with my statement on transparency, I think it can only be but a confidence booster for the public to know that their elected representatives have oversight over an institution such as the Central Bank. While maintaining its independence, Central Bank of Kenya must also be an open book. It must be an open book from the sense that the entire confidence in the financial sector stems from the fact that we are not doing things in darkness. We are not doing things behind closed doors, and there is nothing that happens in the building next door where the central bank is housed that the owners of the bank, who are the people of this great republic, should not be aware of. So for me, it is imperative that this institution, like any other, should be oversighted, and its activities by way of frequent and transparent reporting should be brought before Parliament, just so the public can also gain confidence in everything that's going on at the central bank. And Mr. Chairman, the value of that cannot be seen in anywhere greater than if you look at people's confidence even in government debt. How does the public know that instruments being presented are not distressed instruments if nobody has oversight over the structural soundness of the central bank? So in as much as other banks report their functions and performance publicly, so should the central bank.
Principal Secretary of the Department of Immigration, Ambassador Julius Bitok, has indicated that the government will launch the registration of new digital IDs for Kenyans, an exercise that tends to remove the IDs currently in use. The identification project, which will be known as Maisha Card, will be launched on the 29th of this month, including all the information of Kenyans on one particular card. While speaking at the technical committee facilitating the project, he said a total of 1 billion shillings is needed to make the project a success.
This is a great moment for this country. When we talk about effective and efficient service delivery, digital identity is very, very critical. And therefore, we all need to support, to onboard, to be able to appreciate this particular process so that we can take this country to the next level.
And we are going to put a timeline so that we give Kenyans time. But for the time being, we'll have a transition period, which will be like 2 to 3 years to be able to transit into the new number. For those people who are applying for replacements, we have about 1.5 million replacements of cards every year. Those new replacements will now be in form of the Maisha card. And for new registrations, we have about 1.5 million again. And we are saying for those new registrations, for anybody turning 18, as from the end of this month, they'll be issued with a Maisha card.
Women from pastoral communities have been urged to take up leadership roles in community land governance to help curb the effects of drought caused by climate change. During a meeting held in Isiolo, Laikipia and Samburu, women were called upon to take part in activities such as planting, nurturing trees, sand harvesting and grazing patterns to help conserve the environment. The attendees of the workshop lauded the move, saying that for many years women were only regarded as domestic workers.
Jina langu ni Ruth Okara, nafanya kazi na shirika linaloitwa Namati, ambapo tunaangazia mambo ya haki za ardhi, haswa haki za ardhi inayoitwa community land. Community land ni ardhi ambayo imekuwa ndio kubwa kabisa katika nchi ya Kenya. Iko around 66% we can say in Kenya is community land. Kwa hivyo siku ya leo tumekuja kujumuika na kina mama ambao wanafanya kazi katika community land management committees, na tunaona wengine wao wako hapa wametoka jamii tofauti tofauti na wamejumuika leo ili tuweze kuwafunza mambo ambayo yatawasaidia kuwa viongozi bora katika hizo community land management committees.
Ndio tuleta masomo ndio sisi tuweze kuongea. Hata mimi mwenyewe sasa nasimama siwezi ongea samani, lakini kwa vile wameleta masomo ndio sasa hata nilipewa mapawa tena sasa kuongea mbele ya wote. Nikienda kijiji kuambia mama lazima tumepata nini vitu. Sasa masomo ya leo kile nilisoma mzuri sana. Hata kwa sababu sisi wamama ndio tuko na shida. Nafikiri watu hawezi kupata shida ile wamama wanapata. Wao wanapata njamzito, jirali, kwa wakati wa mvua. Sisi ndio tunaenda kutafutia watoto wetu chakula. Sisi ndio tunaenda kutafutia watoto wetu school fees. Sasa naona kama ni wamama ndio wako na shida sana.
The Association of Scrap Metal Dealers have called out Kenya Power for profiling and blaming them for vandalism and the frequent blackouts. The association leadership also wants the power company to stop threatening them with a moratorium as their business is legitimate and registered for purposes of smooth running and self-regulation. They want Kenya Power to come out clean, inspect their projects regularly, and investigate their own staff over vandalism.
Anything to do with Kenya Railways, anything to do with Kenya Power, or any other multi-agency, any government infrastructure should be rejected in totality. And not only that, whoever brings to you should be arrested and reported to the police, to this office, and then we forward the same to the police. We've been doing that.
We are tired of being seen like bad people. We are doing a good business, and if we have a problem, or we as scrap dealers, we have a weakness, we want to have a sit down with the government. We want to have a sit down with Kenya Power. We have come to realize that we are the weakest point for Kenya Power to dispose all their anger, their frustrations, and everything unto us. And we want to tell them no.
Engage us so that we can work together. You know, we've started so well. Kindly engage us. The Ministry of Energy, engage this office. You know, engage this office so that we can work together. We are also not interested in vandalism. We are interested to fighting vandalism, to the full course.
Well, the Anglican, or the Archbishop of the Anglican Church, Jackson Ole Sapit, has ordered the leaders of the Kenya Kwanza and Azimio la Umoja One Kenya coalition factions to stop making statements that could disrupt the ongoing reconciliation talks to resolve the issues facing the country. Ole Sapit said the leaders of the church support the Bomas talks, as it is the only way to ensure much-needed stability. Ole Sapit said this at the reception of the Anglican Church and school-formed businessman David Langat in Lol Kireng area, Nandi Hills, Nandi County.
Mazungumzo waweke kipaumbele maisha ya Mkenya na maisha ya Wakenya kwa sababu ikiwa wataongea sana juu ya yale ambayo inaridhisha mtu binafsi basi haitakuwa inaongelelewa juu ya Kenya. Kwa hivyo letu ni kusema mnapoongea mjue kuna Kenya kubwa kuliko ninyi, ile kamati ambayo yuko huko, mjue kwamba kuna nchi ambayo uamuzi ambao mtafanya inategemea kama watoto waliosaliwa na wajasaliwa watakuja kuishi nchi nzuri.
It is about 9:15 p.m. Allow me to take a quick breather, but when we come back, we'll be taking a look at stories making headlines across other counties, as well as what happened to Harambee Stars this evening. Well, that and much more coming up after this break. Stay with EBN TV.
From the oldies to the latest song, on the Request Hour show, we play you the songs that you request. Whether ni reggae,
rising up to take their place.
Whether ni hip hop,
For God is no estimate.
Whether ni worship, any song, any genre that you want to listen to, we play it here on the Request Hour show. Join me, Alice Jerry, on this Wednesday and every Wednesday and Friday, only on EBN TV from 5 to 6 p.m.
Every Thursday from 8:30 p.m.
Listen, every man needs God. And every man needs to learn to humble himself before God.
Enjoy teachings from Pastor Chris Oyakilome.
Here's what the Lord is instructing you to do. Prepare yourself in the Word of God. Feed your faith. Prepare yourself in the Word.
Build your faith and get to know who you are in Christ Jesus.
Feed your faith. There's a spiritual attack of some kind through sickness. Build your faith strong.
Every Thursday from 8:30 p.m. on EBN TV, transforming your world.
Through the morning rush and the buzz, find a voice you can trust, a voice of reason, a voice of direction, and a voice of hope.
Good morning. Welcome to the Morning Live. I'm Cynthia Nanjala.
And I'm Sammy Adika. Rise and shine, folks. We hope you are ready for an energizing start to your day.
Absolutely. We are here to bring you the latest headlines and trending news stories from the world of politics,
business and finance, health and lifestyle,
agriculture and sports.
So grab your coffee, sit back and get ready for a fantastic morning of engaging discussions and news segments.
Join us through our social media handles, #The Morning Live. This is Morning Live, exclusively on EBN TV. Welcome back. Thank you for staying with us. Now let's move on to Kilifi County, where some primary and secondary schools in Malindi constituency of Kilifi are facing a shortage of toilets. In Kakoneni Primary School, students and teachers have had to use the same toilet regardless of whether they are male or female. It is a move that has now begun to disturb some teachers in the school who want the government to strengthen the school's infrastructure.
Ni room moja upande ule. Kuna CDF ilirekebisha ile mjengo pale, ikajengea watoto vyo karibu 8. Sasa ile hali ya kwamba ni watoto wamejengewa, halafu sasa mwalimu pia nayo mtengee choo chake pale, wakati mwingine ile hali ya mtoto mpate haki yake unamnyima kiasi. Sasa inabidi hivyo tuingie pale pale.
Mambo ya choo ni kweli, kuna upungufu wa vyoo hasa wa upande wa walimu, hata kwa wanafunzi pia havitoshi. Labda nikidokeza kidogo upande wa special needs, hawana choo kabisa. Wale watoto walemavu hawana choo kabisa. Upande ule mwingine choo yao ilivunjika na hata sasa haijashughulikiwa. Watoto wanaenda msituni na wale ni walemavu. Kwa hivyo vile mama amekuja, ni maombi yetu kwamba kutakuwa na mabadiliko makubwa.
Now, police officers in Kakamega have launched an investigation into a case in which the head teacher of St. James High School, Esomeya, in Navaholo constituency was found dead under mysterious circumstances in a rented house at Shisiru Center. According to neighbors of the deceased, Joseph Nangabo, led by Lilian Nafula, it is alleged that the deceased arrived home in the evening in the company of his girlfriend carrying foodstuffs. However, by morning, he had reportedly informed the neighbors of his demise. The school's board, chaired by Reverend Alex Ondumbu, has stated that the deceased had been instrumental since he served since March this year. Kakamega OCPD Valeria Nobore has indicated that drugs and a hospital booklet from Jamia Mumia's hospital were discovered alongside the deceased body. He mentioned that his officers have initiated an investigation and are awaiting the results of the autopsy.
Alikuwa mwalimu mzuri, mwalimu ambaye ametusaidia kwa muda mchache ambao amekuwa around, ametusaidia sana. Shule imekuwa na a very new face. Shule imeinuka, wanafunzi nidhamu imeongezeka. Tunaona kwamba wanafunzi walikuwa wamechukulia masomo kama jambo la lazima, na kulikuwa na mwelekeo fulani ambao tulikuwa tunaupata kutokana na uongozi wake hapa shuleni.
Ila kifo yake haijulikani sababu alikuwa na kuna mwanadada alikuwa na yeye tangu jana, akasema anajisikia vibaya mwili. So wakati ilifika mahali akaachana huyo ndugu akaenda akarudi shughuli zake. Sasa muda akapigia huyo ndugu huyo mwalimu simu, akaona hiyo simu hakubaliki kushika. Kufika mahali akapata ameslide. So tunaulizana swali ya kwamba kama alipata ameslide, mbona hakujulisha kwa jirani yako karibu kwamba niko na mgonjwa hapa ameshindwa? Hasa hiyo kitu imeshangaza majirani karibu.
Kama amelala ameanguka chini hivi na kichwa, na kuna spots za damu ambazo zimepatikana hapo, so hatuwezi jua zaidi ya hapo ni nini ambacho kilisababisha kifo chake, lakini tunaomba ya kwamba serikali ichukue mkondo wake, ifuatilie, iweze kujua ni kifo gani ambacho kimempata mwalimu asubuhi ya leo ambayo kimetustua hivyo. Tumehuzunika sana. Kulingana na hicho kifo chake hatuwezi jua, kwa sababu imeonekana ya kwamba kulikuwa na msichana ambaye anaweza kuwa na ujumbe fulani kuhusu hicho kifo, lakini hakutueleza. Huyo msichana amekuwa tu hapo, wakati tunajaribu kumuuliza amenyamaza. So tunashindwa kujua huyo msichana anaweza kuwa amehusika katika hicho kifo, ama anaweza kuwa alijua ambacho kilimuua, ama wakati kifo kilifanyika alikuwa ama hakuwa. So hatujakuwa na ukweli kamili, na tungependelea tujue hicho kifo kimesababishwa na nini. Kuna madawa hata imepatikana hapo akiwa labda alikuwa mgonjwa, alikuwa na meza. Kuna wakati tumepata kwa gari kulikuwa na vitu fulani kwa gari. So hatujajua vizuri sana kifo chake kimetokea na nini, lakini tungependa kujua.
Well, our condolences to the family and friends of the late head teacher. Kikuyu security officers in Kiambu County are pleading with citizens who are able to collect cooking oil after a truck transporting the product from Mombasa to neighboring Uganda was involved in an accident in Gitaru on the Nairobi-Nakuru highway earlier today. According to Kikuyu Deputy Police Commander Evan Mose, he claims that the oil was not ready for use as it was still not fully processed. In addition, he advises those who have already used it to go to the hospital to get advice from healthcare workers. For their part, the residents maintain that the accident was a blessing for them, and now they are celebrating the free cooking oil while complaining about the rising cost of living. However, no disasters have been reported as a result of the accident, but heavy traffic was witnessed.
Hii gari ilikuwa inatoka Mombasa ikiwa inabeba mafuta unrefined ya kupika, ilikuwa inapeleka Uganda. So wakati ilifika hii mahali hiyo ikapata tire burst ikaanguka. So hii mafuta ni unrefined, na ningeomba wananchi wasiweze kutumia hii mafuta sababu itawadhuru kwa njia nyingine ama nyingine. Haikuwa imefika process ya kumaliza kupika. So mafuta unrefined. So wananchi msitumie tafadhali. Mtu ameweza kutumia hii mafuta sababu watu wamekimbilia wamechota hii mafuta mali imepitia kwa mtaro waenda kuchotea mbali. Ningependa kama iko mtu yoyote ambaye ametumia mafuta aweze kwenda hospitali, aweze kuangaliwa. Sababu akikaa anaweza kuwa maisha yake inakuwa ni hatarini. Mimi naitwa Mr. Evans Mose, Deputy Hospital Kikuyu Sub County.
Wakiamua ilale, tunaweza ichukua yote. Tungeomba ilalishwe tena. Tuendelee kuchota.
Labda mnachota sababu ya hali
juu ya hali ngumu ya maisha. Maisha ni ngumu. Sasa hii mafuta tungejisaidia nayo. Juu unga iko juu, mafuta ndio hii, at least tungeuza hata mtungi moja nyingine tutumie. Tupate unga na tukue na mafuta.
Yeah. Safi ama mtaitumia tu hivyo?
Ni safi. Tutaichunga tu na tutumie mafuta hivyo na nguo.
While the exercise of registration of the elderly and orphans in government's community uplift program known as Inua Jamii continues across the country, many elderly people in Kilifi have been excluded from the exercise due to their age. Some of the elderly who have appeared at various registration centers are under 70 years old, while those who reach that age are few. Nyevu Chula, one of the elderly people who was kicked out of the exercise, says that he is 70 years old, although his identification card shows that he is 66 years old and has found himself out of the registration, saying that there is a need for government to reduce the years in the program.
Hapa nilipo na karibu miaka 70 na pangine mitano. Kisha ninaambiwa sijafisha. Hata hivi basi na miaka 66. Bado mingapi? Mimi mzima nifishe 70. Nitakuwa kwa kweli. Kwa hivyo basi nasema hapa upate kunisikia, mimi niko mzee sana. Niko mzee mimi. Hivyo upunguze ile nyaka. Upunguze nyaka. Maana nimekuwa mzee hata siwezi kabisa.
Ikiwa inawezekana naweza wakaniandikia kwenye kama 65 ile miaka 5 nikawachia wenzangu. Hiyo pia yawezekana. Kwa hivyo tunaomba serikali izidi kutukumbuka namna hii, maana kuna wengine wazee zaidi wako manyumbani hawajapata zoezi la kuja hapa. Sasa tunaomba watembelewe manyumbani, manake pengine mtu ni mzee na pengine miguu hawezi kutembea.
Ni sura pia zitasema. Sasa mimi kama mimi, mzazi wangu sahihi ameambiwa na miaka 52. Mimi mwenyewe na miaka 53. Mzazi wangu anaambiwa na miaka 52 na mimi ni mtoto wake wa 5. Yeye mwenyewe atakuwa na miaka mingapi? Sasa nataka muangalie hii hali ya serikali, muangalie wale wazee, kutegemea msiangalie vile umri wa vitambulisho vile vilivyosema, muangalie na sura za wazee vile ziko.
Kuwekewa kwa simu wananufaika wenyewe bila shida yoyote, isipokuwa kwa sababu itakuwa ni hali ya kupunguza hii safari ambayo ni hapa na pale, alafu mtu anapambana na wakora.
To sports, well, this one broke my heart. Michael Olunga's one-on-one chance with South Sudan goalkeeper in the second half could have been a game-changing moment to end the game 1-1, but it was not to be as Harambee Stars lost 1-0 to Bright Stars of South Sudan. An early goal by Tito Okello, who plays for City Stars in the second minute, was enough to seal the win for the neighbors. This followed a misplaced back pass from Joseph Okumu to give South Sudan the advantage. This is a 5th loss for coach Injin Firat out of 9 games in charge, despite a roaring performance in Qatar just a few days ago.
Aliomba ruksa kutoka kwa kocha wake Engin Frat kuwa aweze kurejea mapema ili weke sawa mipango ya kuchona na timu ya Porto, kwa maana timu yake hiyo itakuwa inapiga siku ya Ijumaa wiki hii dhidi ya FC Porto.
Engin Frat alisema kuna muhimu wa kutengeza mahusiano bora kati ya timu ya taifa na klabu ile ya Serela kule Ureno, ndio maana akamruhusu beki yule. Nafasi na pia kwake Tito Okello. Tito Okello Odong mapema kweli anaonyanyua mashabiki wa Sudan Kusini baada ya makosa ambayo ameweza kufanya na beki Joseph Okumu. Tizama mashabiki wa Sudan Kusini wanasherehekea kweli, goli la mapema kabisa alfajiri ya Mungu. Okello Tito, mchezaji wa klabu ya Kenya Police ya hapa ndani ya taifa la Kenya, anawatanguliza vijana wa Sudan Kusini baada ya pasi fupi ile.
Heartbreaking, isn't it? Well, we can hope that in the next international break, we'll be able to row once again and win some more matches. Kenya Rugby Union has announced the official squad for the upcoming Rugby Africa Sevens, which also serves as the African qualification tournament for the Rugby Sevens competition at the 2024 Olympic Games in Paris, France. Shujaa will be looking to make it to the Olympic Games for the 3rd time in a row, after Rio 2016 and Tokyo 2020 with Vincent Onyala, who overcame an injury setback during the 2023 World Rugby Series, making a comeback alongside his co-captain Tony Omondi. Well, the squad includes Kevin Wekesa, Brian Tanga, John Okoth, George Oro, Vincent Onyala, and Tony Omondi. Additionally, 6 promising players have received maiden call-ups, including Samuel Asati and Belda Dogeta, who have previously represented Kenya at the test level. Patrick Odongo from Daystar Falcons, William Mwanji from Cabras Sugar, Nigel Amaitsa from Strathmore Leos, and Festus Shiasi from KCB. Well, that is where we want to wrap our bulletin tonight. Thank you for keeping me company, as well as to those who've been watching us online. Nekoye Janet, watching from Kitengela. Reynard Indiazi as well watching. and Victor Musieg, who is also watching. Thank you so much. And to also those who have been watching us at home, we hope you're up to date with the latest making headlines across the country and the counties. Do join me tomorrow at 7 a.m. I will be taking you through the newspapers. Who is making headlines and why? 13th of September, a key date as President William Ruto marks 365 days in office. In other words, it's been 1 year of President William Ruto's reign. Lessons learned, promises achieved, promises not achieved. Well, that and much more, we'll be tackling that tomorrow in the broadcast. For now, good night. Stay safe, stay warm. Have a blessed evening.